Hi, and welcome to this edition of the Insurance Experts. It's my pleasure to have on once again Stan the Annuity Man. He's here to dispel myths out there about annuity products. So thanks again for joining us, Stan.
I'm still in the cave. I'm still poorly lit, but that's okay. I'm in an undisclosed location. And that's good because today we're talking about the fixed index annuity, which is everybody's favorite. And they know I'm getting ready to go off. But just as a note here, and as I was telling you before, I sell a ton of these, but I don't sell them like other people sell them. So let's go into the truth, the facts about fixed index annuities.
Awesome. Yeah, and I do want to compare them because we had talked about this earlier that, fixed index annuities versus deferred income annuities, they can be used in certain situations. Can you share with us a little bit more about what is a fixed index annuity, first of all?
A fixed index annuity is a CD. It falls in the same category as a multi-year guarantee annuity. Now, when you attach an income rider at the time of application to an indexed annuity, then it becomes an income product. At that point in time, you're looking at what I call income later. Client calls the other day, says, "Hey, Stan, I'm looking to maybe turn income on in 7 years from now. What's the best quote for me and the wife?" We get the date of birth, obviously about life expectancy at the time you take the payment. But when they ask those questions for income later, it really narrows it down to two products: income riders and deferred income annuities. We quote both. Both of them get you to the contractual goal, but each of them take a different path to get there. Now, what we're finding in the hinterlands of the annuity sales is most agents are just showing index annuities with riders. That's not a fiduciary approach. You need to show both deferred income annuities and index annuities with riders because you want to find the highest contractual guarantee. And each of those products have specific limitations and benefits that need to be fully explained to the client so they can make an informed decision.
Makes sense. And, I love that consultative approach. I think it's really important. Tell us a little bit more about the DIA side, the deferred income annuity. How does that work?
A deferred income annuity is an immediate annuity that you defer. It really is that simple. With an immediate annuity, you can defer it out to a year. Once you go past the year, it turns into a deferred income annuity. Simplistic, no annual fees, no moving parts, a straight transfer of risk, primarily based on life expectancy. And I tell you, what I find is my biggest tickets come with SPIAs and DIAs because rich people buy simplicity.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell agents all the time, you're leaving money on the table if you're not showing these products as well. And don't just show index annuities with riders. Don't be a one-trick pony.
Right.
From a fiduciary standpoint, you have to show all carriers, all products that solve for that contractual guarantee that's specified, and then you explain the benefits and limitations that of these products. A lot of times when I do income later type quotes and I'm showing deferred income annuities and income riders, a lot of times we split the baby. We do half in the income rider and half in the deferred income annuity, because they do the same thing contractually. They provide a lifetime income stream, but they do it in a different way.
Okay, let's talk about some of those trade-offs and how they do it in a different way. What would you say are the pros of the FIA side of it?
The pros of the fixed index annuity with an income rider is control of the asset, meaning that you can pivot, you can change your mind, you can say, I don't want to do that anymore, I don't want to turn on the income stream, and you still have control of that asset. With a deferred income annuity, it's irrevocable. Think about it as you're ripping the knob off a water faucet, the water's coming, in this case it's income, you're going to get all your money back, it's going to be in an income stream, but it is a pure transfer of risk that you cannot pivot. You do not have the liquidity that an indexed annuity has. So when it comes down to income later choices, one of the things I tell people, do you need liquidity? And if they say yes, then the first thing I say, well, we might be putting too much money into an annuity because liquidity shouldn't be an issue. That's one of the things carriers look at is what is the liquidity of the client applying for the annuity, and they don't want clients putting too much money in. So they should not be buying an income later pension type annuity with liquidity being an issue. Now, I do understand when people want control of the asset, and if that's really a concern, then an index annuity with an income rider works. But at the end of the day, you have to look at the highest contractual guarantee for your specific situation, and sometimes that deferred income annuity blows the income rider away, period.
Right.
And vice versa.
Because the annuity companies aren't stupid, right? There's a cost for that trade-off of providing the liquidity. And so naturally, it makes sense that obviously by having that limitation on the DSI, you probably get a better rate of return, maybe on average.
Not all the time, but that's the reason you quote both. Some of the time, it all depends on, and it changes. It's fluid. It's a commodity product. Corn, wheat, annuities. They're all commodities. You got to shop for them. I think agents make a mistake by just showing one or two products. They have to ask themselves, are you being a fiduciary? Are you really putting the client ahead of your decision or your trip to Bora Bora with your wife or girlfriend, right? So you got to be real careful, because I think coming down the pike, there's going to be some legislation that makes sure that agents show all quotes with all carriers. So you better get in that habit right now.
Right. And you'd mentioned, even splitting the baby, like you said, doing
Mhm.
half. When would be like a client situation where that would be appropriate to do a little bit of both?
When they can't make a decision, when they both look good, or when they're both kind of at the same level of guarantee. Because a
Mhm.
lot of times they're right on the money, and I
Mhm.
just say, well, why don't we just split it? One will give you liquidity. One is a straight transfer of risk with no annual fees, and you win both ways. And in a non-qualified account, non-IRA account, a deferred income annuity is going to provide a better taxation of the income stream, because all annuity income is a combination of return of principal plus interest. But with
Mhm.
a deferred income annuity, there's an exclusion ratio that they lengthen out that tax liability of your life expectancy. Whereas with an income rider, 99% of them are LIFO, last in, first out, so gains first. So you have to be careful. You have to look at it. I'm not telling agents to be, a tax advisor. Please don't be, because you're not. But you do have to look at those from a 30,000-foot view to give the client some information that they then can go share with their tax lawyer or CPA, make a good decision.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you joining us on this episode, demystifying another myth here. And I hope to have you again on future episodes. Thanks, Dan.
Anytime, anytime. Thanks so much.